So today is just one of those days where I've come in and everything's, well, almost everything's perfect. We've got the Rarefish ecosystem tank that is just really settling in now, and it's almost to autopilot. I say almost because we're still getting a slight hint of green dust algae on the front glass, not so much on the back at all now because there's less light hitting it because of all the plants. But like I've said to many of you before, if there's ever a type of algae that you do want in your tank, or if you had to have, sorry, not that you do want, you don't want any. If you had to have one, green dust algae is the best to have because it's just so easy to get rid of. So I've got a little bit, I don't know if we can pick it out on camera, but there's a little bit in this area. So obviously the highest point where the light is hitting it, that's collected over 1 week, so that's really good. I'm happy with that. I was getting it at the start. Within days, it's just, you know, covering it everywhere again. It's an easy fix, isn't it, as well? You know, as always, look, I like to use the razor blade scraper. It's my favorite tool and the most used tool in the whole of the 2 studios. I've got one in each studio because, you know, it's just so quick and easy. This is a massive tank, look. I've already done half the glass. There we go, simple as that. I didn't even mess up the water. Look, it just still looks clean. Oh, I missed a spot. I missed one spot. I can see it right there. It doesn't matter. The fish, look, are all come to the foreground now because they all think they're about to be fed. And you know what? Why not do it? Let's just do it. So for these guys, I feed the flake and I just crush it all in my fingers. We've got big bits, we've got little bits there. And the guppies, look, the end of guppies, they tend to pick at the bigger bits, the females anyway, because they're massive. And then the rest, it just sort of, as they all bite at it, it comes down like, in the water column. Yeah, we've got little bits floating down everywhere there. And you know, we've got variation of sizes here, haven't we? Like, look at the galaxy resporas. They are absolutely teeny tiny, so, but everyone gets a feed, don't they? It's almost like the bigger ones ignore the smaller bits fall down, the smaller fish get to eat them. Now what about the cories on the bottom? Well, we need the pellet as well, don't we? Your pellet for the cories. Raindrops keep falling. Oh, copyright strike, don't sing songs. Now where are the cories? They'll sense in a minute there's food about, and they'll just dart out somewhere. There we go, there's one. Here comes one. So we've got quite a good amount in here. I think I got 6 in the end, didn't I? Did I get 6 or did I get 10? I might have got 10. No, I wouldn't have got 10, that's a lot. There's 2 of them already. I think I got 6, that's right. Any more? They normally hang around in the middle here as well. Hey, there we go, right on cue. This one coming right in the middle. Hello, you got some food for, oh, another one at the back I just saw as well. And if you guys remember, we recently put in a load more neon dwarf rainbow fish into the Rainbowfish aquarium. They are all out all the time now, no hiding or territorial claiming or whatever that was what was going on. The males were hiding right at the back quite a lot and all the females were out. It's very weird. And someone said in the comments it could be that they're like sort of deciding who's got what bits of the tank. I don't know, but look at this. Oh, it's brilliant now. Yeah, look at these guys. They're everywhere, all over the tank, loads of action. I'm so glad I decided to add more fish because it just really has brought it alive. You still got my favourites, obviously, the big old male. The Bosemani male is also gaining in size now as well. It's probably, I'd say it's like quartered, not doubled, no, halved in size from when I first got it. And look at how coloured up now the dwarf neon rainbows are. There's a male at the back there, obviously, because it's got the red fins around the edge. Any females as well, there goes females as well. Blue on them is lovely. You don't see it all the time, obviously. It's only when they flick in certain angles, but from back here, you can really see where the dwarf neons are and where the sort of sunburst ones are. There's a sunburst. Now it's actually midday, so the colours in the sunburst don't seem to show unless it's like quite early on in the morning. That's okay, they still look great, don't they? And to be honest, even the moss has started to grow back from that last trim up. It was only like a week ago. I didn't get around to doing the background plants in the end because I'd been working on another tank. There's something I'd want to do soon as well, to be honest, because they're right at the surface now. Look at this. Look at how luscious they look up here, like directly under the light, but zero algae still. I guess it's just, I don't know, I guess it's just the right amount. I would definitely never go higher than this in terms of lighting on a low-tech tank, but we didn't need to. Like, I don't feel we need to. This still doesn't look as fantastic as you would see from the high-tech systems, because for a start, the stems at the back there, a bit more leggy, I'd say, a little bit less vibrant in colour, but nonetheless, I'm still happy with these kind of results. You know, you just got to decide what's your limit, what do you want to go to, and for me, this is absolutely a beautiful tank, and I don't feel the need to sort of go up a level from there. I do one day at some point want to do like one high-tech tank with the lighting, the CO2, the lot. Maybe that's something I'll do in the future, in a 4-foot tank, 4-foot high-tech. Maybe set up something like, what we could do is have like a 4-foot there and a 4-foot next to it and just do, not the same scape because that's boring, but like just do a low-tech and a high-tech. I think that'd be quite cool. And also guys, as I was just walking past the Ricefish aquarium out here in this little hallway section, I noticed something that I've been waiting for ages. Yeah, so I'm walking past the tank, always have a little look in, and guess what I saw? This female, look at that. We've got some eggs. Can you see those? Just at the, yeah, of course you can. So, oh, that's not ick, by the way. These are sparkling Ricefish. And yeah, so I looked in like a couple of days ago and noticed that particular female looked big. And I didn't even know if I had males or females, you see. I just thought, oh, maybe I've got all males because we haven't had any eggs yet. But yeah, no, brilliant to see. We've got the eggs there. And it's no surprise that we're getting into springtime, isn't it? And all of a sudden it starts happening. I mean, this temperature out here in this hallway section is not controlled by me, it's controlled by the weather. It never gets too low, but obviously as the temperature's heating up outside, it's getting warmer in here, and maybe that's what they felt, that maybe they know that it's now springtime. Hopefully we get some more of eggs as well, because I mean, this one at the top as well, that to me looks like a female that's got lots of eggs inside ready to sort of show them next as well, so that'll be brilliant. But yeah, so good to see. I'm really happy with that, because one thing I really wanted was to be able to breed these Ricefish. Now, I'm not saying we're going to successfully get breeding, but you know, it's a blinking good start, isn't it? To know that you've got a good male and female mix that are going to produce eggs. The eggs don't go down like that, I don't think, unless they're no. Do they get fertile once she lays them? I'm not quite sure how it works, but either way, it's a good sign, isn't it? And I have also still been looking for more Ricefish because I want to do different colours and sort of types. So these are the sparklings, and then next to it I want to do another setup. This is just a holding tank for like plants and that at the moment, but I want to do another setup here for different ones, completely different to that, go for a different look. More simplified probably, but this is getting how I wanted it now, which was, well, we've got too many floating plants again, so I'm going to take a few of these out in a second. But yeah, that's what I wanted, like, I don't know, like a corner of a stream somewhere, not a huge amount of light coming in, but it just looks really good, doesn't it?
Okay, so great news. Hopefully we can get some babies.
Right, this is pretty awesome. It's now the next day, and I've just come and had a little check, as I do every single time I walk past this tank. We've got more fish with little dangleberry eggs. So take a look. See that one there? Some big old eggs on that one there. So that's brilliant. That's probably the biggest one in here. And then there's some on this one as well. Look at that. So I think there seems to be more than before. So that's the original one yesterday. I can tell that because I just can, okay? I could be completely wrong. But this is the biggest one, and there's way more eggs, look. Look at that, oh, wicked. Now, I don't know what's gonna happen in terms of, you know, them hatching out or whatever. I'm assuming they just sort of go and chuck them somewhere, and hopefully that means they have a chance of survival. Now, I don't know enough whether to take them out or not, so it would be quite good to take out the ones with the eggs and put them across into this tank where there's no predators. But the issue is, I don't know if like those eggs are fertilized or not. It's such a tough one. I think my best bet, given the amount of sort of, you know, vegetation and that we've got in this tank, is just to leave them. And there's plenty of places that the babies would be able to hide and, you know, grow. So leave this one to nature, and hopefully it works out, fingers crossed. It's just amazing though that these eggs just stick to the back of them and just don't fall down. Crazy. Also, the freshwater reef style tank that we set up here, that has been getting along really well. Starting to run into a few small issues now though, which we can quite easily fix. So yeah, the plants are growing really, really healthy. All fish accounted for and good, by the way. There's the male apistogramma right there. Female's hiding at the moment. I think that's because getting ready for breeding. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I mean, I've already got babies, loads of babies from these guys anyway. But yeah, plants are growing nicely. Look at that stem there. Real fresh, vibrant, looking good. The Hygrophila pinnatophyta, that has grown loads. There's lots going on with that, new leaves coming off and everything. But you might notice that we've got a little bit of string algae going on in some of the plants, specifically ones that can catch it quite well. That seems to be the case. There's it's not a huge amount, is it? This one's got quite a bit. It's easily fixed though. Just get a little brush in there and twirl them off. But it's probably going to come back if we don't do something to resolve what's causing it. And what's causing it is there's a lot of light here and not a lot of plants that soak up nutrients really quickly. So what I'm going to do, brush it off, and then we can put some floating plants, and that should resolve the issue. Yeah, so it's nice and simple, just use the bristles. I find that turning it's quite good, especially for string algae, because rather than just flicking it in the water column, you've then just got it attached to your brush. Sweet, nice and easily resolved. Next up, the floating plants, and I know just where to get them from because they're coming back with a vengeance again. Yeah, so in the shrimp forest, I've got some more floating plants again at the top here, so I'm going to take just a few out. You don't need many because they grow so fast, don't they? Make sure I do like a dip to get off any of the shrimp that are still attached. Nope, we're all clear, I think. There we go, I've got 3 there, that's enough. There we go, I'll just stick them in. They'll float where they want to go and then they'll just get stuck at some point. I've just realised there's also loads of duckweed attached to them, so I will go in and try and get rid of that because that will do my head in. That's quite good, I tucked one right there by the filter. In fact, I'm going to take off some of the roots, trim them down a bit because they're very long. It's actually stopping them moving around. Yeah, honestly, if you're struggling with algae or water parameters, get yourself some kind of floating plant. I mean, like I said, I like the mini water lettuce now, but any of them work. They work so well. It's almost like a cheat code for your aquarium and it just helps. Sometimes your plants can be dying off because you're like got so much ammonia and nitrite and that sort of thing. Like you can have too much, so much so the algae just goes crazy because it also uses that as food to grow. And then it can cover your plants die off because they can't get any of the light and it's just a vicious circle. So floating plants will remove a lot of nutrients that algae will feed on, which means your plants then can just use whatever fertilizers you use, if you use any, and it can get the light and it just works perfectly then.